So right now, let's check out the lineups. Enterprise versus Shokaku. This has been a kind of fight we've seen all day. Double Bismarck Amagi, NorCal Alabama Amagi. I like the battleship setup. Um, Although that means only one Benson with the Ognivoy. Seems like the Ognivoy is kind of the switch in and out. Again, we're seeing double radar instead of a smoking Kutuzov. Honestly, I think a Kutuzov is better than the Atago in most situations. These guys are basically rolling a nice little balance thing. So right now, I'm giving VT just off team lineups, I'm giving them the advantage for what kind of ships they have. I think the Benson's better than the Ognivoy. I think, let's say, the Kutuzov is better than the Chappie. Chappie's very situational, but and the Kutuzov is better in the long run, just adding that extra smoke. So one team has 3 smokes. VT has 3 smokes. RQL only has 2, so something to keep in mind through that. And I still haven't figured out which ship is better when it comes to air control. I would assume the fighter Shokaku is going to do a better job at controlling the air. It just is. But the Enterprise has an insane striking power with its balanced loadout, the 222. So more potential damage out of the Enterprise, especially with the Enterprise potentially getting a nice little start here on taking out a couple extra planes, getting a little bit bad RNG. So can he get a good shape? He got 1, 2 out of that squad. So not the best. If this Atago can help a little bit, that'd be nice. But right now, Enterprise is going to... All right, there's the strafe out of that. Good strafe. He does lose the squad, though, so it's going to be pretty much 4 versus 6 when it comes to planes. Chappie's going to be coming in. So right now, it's kind of a push when it comes to these planes. If you can finish off that squad, the Shokaku is going to have 1 extra one, and kind of giving the air to the Shokaku a little bit, because he's going to have... Oh, wow, really bad rolls for him. So the Shokaku is going to have 2 squads of fighters, although one only has 1. But something to keep in mind that he is just going to have more squads to kind of see. And the drop is potentially going to take out a DD? Really? So we're going to see what a good drop. What a massive drop on that Bismarck. That's the striking power of the Enterprise. Absolutely nuts. Dropped a 30k bomb on that? Insane. Absolutely insane. That Bismarck is burning. That one hurt. That one even hurt me. That guy went from full to that in 1 drop from the Enterprise. That's the striking power of the Enterprise. And 400 babies. Our boy 400 babies is down to 1/3 of the life after 1 strike from that Essex. That is absolutely brutal. Let's bounce over to RQL over here on the right side. And the Ognivoy's being able to push in a little bit, so not too much is coming out. And since that was like an AP hit, you can only repair so much of that. So Red Avenger, not in a very good spot right now. Probably actually going to go down here. Let's bounce back over to Red Avenger, what kind of angle he has. So Kutuzov is going to be there, but that guy's got to be careful. He's going to have a Chappie and an Atago putting some pressure on him. So this Red Avenger is in a bad spot right now. YYC Wombat being able to put some shots in on this guy, but he's got to be careful too. He's got to kind of bail from that. Right now, though, pretty standstill. VT has the cap advantage. Let's kind of back out a little bit and see what we can get. The Amagi and the Alabama putting in some pressure on these Bismarcks. Look how low that Bismarck is. Look how low that freaking Bismarck is after 1 drop. If that smoke dies, that dude is probably going down with 3 battleships, absolutely just alphaing the hell out of him. So we'll see what kind of happens here. They're basically just waiting for that smoke. Shots are in on the other guys, so they just need to keep damage up. Calico Bill taking some damage over there, down to about 17k. He's gonna be able to heal up a little bit of it. And Roach God really just putting in some shots on that. So Grey Wolf keeping his Bismarck. So there's 400 babies. What a hit on violence. So the 2 Bismarcks for VT in the middle, although they are holding that cap down, aren't able to do too much. And this is going to be the damage. This could potentially just be the game right here. VT could lose this right now if they hit a couple shots on these battleships. That's how quick this game could go. Torps in from the Ogdenvoy on that Bismarck. Grey Wolf is still spotted. Violence down to about 42k. Those Torps are going to go in. They are going to be spotted. But really, he only needs 1 or 2 hits, and that guy is dead. Pretty nice salvo, about 6k on the Ogdenvoy. And potentially that Amagi is going to take a little bit of damage from these Torps. Geo Brigade taking 1 Torp from that, so he's going to be down repair. And are these Torps going to reach? They are. Get Skinny takes 1 right on the tip, so not too much protection. And he's going to be pretty low, so he's not going to be able to tank as well as these Bismarcks, as well if he's in secondary range, which he's got to be really careful, because 2 Bismarcks will just chew you alive with their secondary. So let's bounce over. Down he goes. So down goes a Chappie for RQL. So they have lost the ship. And one thing they have to keep in mind too is they're going to be kind of scared on that flank. Who got that kill? The Kutuzov did. So he ended up burning them down. So this has turned into potentially VT really losing some momentum quick. Kind of VT hanging in there because Red Avenger is pretty low, so 1 good salvo from the front. And this Amagi is just going to go down. He can't tank this. He's taking shots from both sides. They have a flanking Amagi putting shots in over there. Geo Brigade is low. This Amagi is going down, so VT is going to be in the driver's seat. They have almost a 200-point lead. They have the cap lead. They killed a cruiser, one of the radar cruisers, and they're going to kill one of their battleships right here. So Blue, I think, potentially could have put some pressure on these guys and capitalize on that massive first drop. VT 100% in the driver's seat right now. Red Avenger is extremely low. 2 full pens, 1 full pen from a battleship, and he's out. Grey Wolf getting really low. There's the drop. Hell yeah for that. And another drop in on 400 babies. This Enterprise is picking his battles now. Can he get the DD? Oh, so close, so close. That was almost a triple strike, basically. Wow, this Enterprise is doing work. So Grey Wolf, really low, only a couple more shells. So down go both their Bismarcks. So did RQL just kind of bounce back from that? They have Red Avengers, who's very low, but there's another cruiser on just the other side of this that's almost as low. But they took out their 2 big guns. So they're down to 1 battleship who's way the hell over here. He's now flanking, probably coming around this way. I doubt he's going north side. Geo Brigade, very he's being able to heal up a little bit. So Grey Wolf is going to go down here. This is too much around. So it's all up to MacGyver taking out Calico, being a little careful over here. And Goliath has got to be careful because with how many ships are over there, he's just going to kind of get knocked down. So let's bounce up. Let's Roach God potentially going down here. Wow, great torps from Grey Wolf, taking out another one of their big guns. So VT was looking pretty dire for a little bit, but oh man, no one communicated. No one communicated their Ogdenvoy saying, hey, there's a radar ship around that corner. Don't go there. Abort mission. And he pushed right up and got absolutely destroyed. So RQL drops one of their DDs. So maybe not paying attention, maybe a little lack of comms there. And Red Avenger has to push up, get close to this island, and he could get knocked down again by this destroyer. Grey Wolf could make a nice little play right here, which was he was going to go down to now taking out a battleship and taking out a Chappie. That's the trades you're looking for when it comes to this. And there's Demon God pushing up, gonna go down. Demon full life too. There we go. The nice, very generous on his Steam gifts. So, all right. So what are we looking at right now? We have Geo Brigade that's pretty low. We have MacGyver who's getting picked on by Kutuzov and an Atago, and it's not looking good. It's not looking good right now for RQL. RQL is just kind of bounce back and forth. VT looked like they were going to drop early. Then they kind of came back. No, Fire Brigade having a really good one. Man, all right, let's do a quick little overview. So it started out with RQL being in the driver's seat with that first massive drop by Goliath on that Bismarck and just dropping them to 20-some K. Ooh, 2 torps. Oh no, I don't even know if he has to repair. Coma, I haven't even seen him almost this entire game, and he comes up and is going to get absolutely just dunked on. Has no idea maybe Demon God was there. Demon God will get him on this next little salvo with only 200 life left. So down he goes. This is going to be a good victory. Good victory. A good victory for VT. Well played. This game bounced back and forth. I don't even know how many times, but that shows how strong the freaking Enterprise's strike power can be. With just dive bombers, he took out basically a 1.5 Bismarcks and then was able to drop on the rest of them and almost took out that destroyer as well. He almost had 3 kills in about 25 seconds. So Enterprise better than the Shokaku? I'm not sure. It all depends on how effective you can be maybe in your striking ability, but man, those AP bombs are no joke. So down goes Goliath, takes on the hat trick. Now if Geo Brigade, I was gonna say, if Geo Brigade knocks him down in one salvo there, I don't know if this game is over. Okay, I still think it would have been over. Kutuzov had way more life than I thought it did. But if Geo Brigade one-shots Cowpies right now, no, it's still over. Never mind. I'm trying to think of situations where RQL can bring this home, and I just don't see it. If Geo Brigade was full life, Cowpies got 1 shot, and Demon God had 1 health, then maybe. But honestly, VT held on. The Bismarck stayed in the smoke long enough to do it. RQL just maybe given a little bit too much away when it came to that. But man, plays on a Goliath, finding the right times to hit, because how aggressive and how AA filled these competitive teams are with the Bensons and going against Kutuzov and all these ships that have good AA. Being able to get that volume of big strikes in a competitive match against a good fighter Shokaku, really impressive. Man, the Enterprise is no joke, and I think he's just going to kind of march out and speed the game up a little bit. But I'm trying to think of the one situation of is I think if RQL maybe pushes when that Bismarck, those 2 Bismarcks are very low. At one point, one was at 20k, and at the other point, one was at, I think, 30k. And they had 3 battleships within a small little area. I think that would have been, in my opinion, a pretty good push. Take them out early, trade a little bit of health away, and then just kind of move on from there. I think that might have been a good push by RQL. Put some pressure on those guys. They potentially could have got that DD as well. And then Goliath wouldn't have had to spend so much more time on that. Maybe could have used that drop on the Yamagi that was way by itself, or helped out with the Kutuzov and the Chappie, or the Kutuzov and the Otago near C-Cap. So all in all, really well played by these guys. This game basically went back and forth, I think, twice. I thought it was over for VT early with those bombs, and then they just kind of like held on. They just didn't die. Kutuzov is gonna take him down right there. So well played by VT. VT takes it home. RQL, I think, had a couple opportunities to maybe finish that out, but all in all, really good showing by 2 clans. To me, at least, Goliath. I think Goliath was maybe the MVP of that game. Getting those strikes in when he could against a good fighter Shokaku is tough. As well as that team having so much AA. Really well played by those guys. I mean, I wonder how much damage he did. Easily over 100k. And in the competitive scene, that's actually pretty damn good. Yeah, that's pretty nutty. That really is. So well played by both those guys. Really strong showing. For 2 clans, and it, to me at least, are kind of unknown. I never really seen VT at least too much. Same for RQL. 2 clans I know really nothing about. I don't know a lot of the names on them, but these guys have some potential. RQL was hitting some big shots. I think VT got lucky, I think, on this, and really Got lucky that maybe RQL wasn't as aggressive as they needed to be. And like I said in one of the earlier games, dying isn't the worst thing in World Warships as long as you get good trades and can trade your health pool for a bigger health pool. So trading one battleship for two on that middle push. That's not a bad trade. You know, taking out one ship and then a ram maybe, that's not that bad of a trade. Taking out a battleship and a DD for one battleship, that's a good trade, you know. So, maybe a missed opportunity there. All in all, good showing. There's only a few of these. I was thinking maybe if Brigade was a little bit healthier and maybe some of the ships were a little bit lower, we could have brought that back. But all in all, great showing by both VT and RQL. I'm excited to see what these guys kind of do in the future because they're going to be competitive. They're not going to be free games, that's for sure.